it was just a kind of a slog of a game last night. But getting into some of the issues that are at hand, obviously the bullpen, a big issue with Edward Alzolay and the home run that he let up yesterday. Will the Cubs make a major bullpen move by the end of this month?
Oh, but the end of this month? Too early. I think Jed's going to try and stabilize it with guys from the scrap heap or from AAA, or by getting healthier in the rotation and using a guy from the starting rotation down in the pen like Ben Brown.
I agree with you. By the way, I believe Kyle Hendricks is set for a rehab start in Tennessee tomorrow. Just FYI. I would ask you as a Cub fan, both of you Cubs fans, if there is still a need for something like bullpen arms.
Yes.
And there is a refusal to make a move prior to the trade deadline. A scale of 1 to 10, how upset will you be as a Cub fan?
A 10. Like, there's a difference between Tyler's question and not doing anything before the trade deadline. If the Cubs are where they are now at the trade deadline, a half game out, and look at what Jed did. Remember, we were wondering, hey, would they add last year? Because, and a lot of us, including me at one point, thought you should trade Bellinger because I didn't think they were a legitimate contender. This year, they should be a contender. So I think they're going to add multiple bullpen arms and higher leverage bullpen arms. They have to. Neris is not what he's been in the past, and he's not a closer.
Are you convinced of that? That they will, in fact,
Yes.
commit to that if necessary?
They always have. Whenever they've been in contention, they always have.
Yeah, I'm with Sylvia. I'm not afraid that they won't do something, because you're right. They always have made some sort of move, especially with relief arms. But at some point, all of these like really tight games or blown saves early in the first month of the season, there should be some urgency to get something done, because you can't, like, who knows how many games may separate you at the end of the year from a playoff berth or potentially winning the division, all that. Like, something has to be done sooner rather than later. And I know that you don't see a lot of reliever trades, especially in the early portions of the season, April and May, but you got to find something. And maybe it's just trying a different arm in there as well, because we saw, what was it, 2 years ago, where they were just spawning bullpen arms, but they didn't have the offense to keep up.
Let me ask you a question. If Cade Horton comes up in the next month, which they expect because he was just promoted to AAA, he won't be there long if he continues to pitch as well as he is. And then Steele's coming up here soon. 2 more starters in the rotation then. Do you take Assad and do you put him in the bullpen as good as he's been in the rotation?
I think you have to, but you're right. He, like, you know what Assad reminds me of? He's almost like what Kyle Hendricks used to be, where he's just kind of that steady 4th or 5th guy in the rotation. He's never going to like super wow you with like an 8 inning. And there were moments where Hendricks was going like 8 innings, but he's just a steady, reliable arm who he's not going to lose you a game.
And he's getting it done.
Yeah.
He's modern day Rick Russell, isn't he?
I know you've said that. Little bit. It's not,
Rick Russell could deal. I mean, it was great, but he was.
No, he was pretty good. He had some good years.
Right.
Listen, I like Assad. I just wonder what his potential is in the bullpen, and he's been so good. Now you're throwing him out of his comfort zone and his routine, and we know these pitchers are such creatures of habit. Like,
right, and you've developed them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But who's your 5th if Steele comes up and you're adding even Cade Horton in a month or so? What about? I mean, are you assuming Wicks is back, or are you putting Kyle? Because Wicks is on the
Shota, and then you've got
Wicks is on the injured list. So
then
with him and Hendricks,
right
are
now
kind
they
of
only have 4 guys technically in their rotation,
and that's
that's
without Horton,
right?
What is it? 1975? You guys got a 4-man rotation?
No. You have to have 5.
I think they're waiting for where Justin Steele ultimately slots in, because that looks like it's going to happen sooner rather than later. But right now, when you look at the rotation, and listen, the rotation's been good this year. Aside from Hendricks, like, Shota's been better than advertised.
Yes.
Tyone's figured it out. He's looked really good this year. Steele, you hope, is going to be the same guy that we saw last year. Like, there are plenty of weapons in the starting rotation, but they're only especially early in the season, you're only getting 6 or so innings out of these guys, and then it's up to the bullpen, which has been a shaky mess.
But I don't
That's
think
a good band name, too,
I don't
Shaky
think you can
Mess.
take a. I don't think you can take a side out without Hendricks or somebody. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, I
need
think
a
you're
fifth
right.
arm.
I was just talking it through. I think you're right, Meller. I think he's been too good.
Yeah.
You can't sit. You can't take Rick Russell out of your rotation. What's wrong with you?
Wait. Did you were you around for the last 3 minutes? Did you just hear that?
What?
We brought that up 3 minutes ago.
No, I know. I said you can't take him out of your rotation.
Speaking of Alzlai, I did confirm this with Jesse. So this was brought to the Twitter world by Ryan Herrera. He said Adbert Alzlai doesn't have minor league options left. So basically, you can't bring him down. You can either keep him on the roster, DFA him, and maybe hope he clears waivers.
No.
Or do the Hendricks route and maybe phantom injury his way onto the IL.
You can't DFA him. He's still he had too much.
He was solid last year.
Yeah, there was too much good stuff last year. He made too much progress. I know.
He still has an ERA of 3.55 on the season. I know it's been rough the last.
Well, remember
It's just the timing.
Remember yesterday's home run, Meller. None of the runs counted because
This
of
is
Dansby
true.
Swanson.
That's true.
Dansby Swanson's error negated any runs from counting to his ERA. They
That's a
were
good
all
point.
unearned runs.
Speaking of Dansby Swanson, I want to bring him up in a couple of regards. First of all, defense was thought to be one of the strengths of this Cubs team. The Cubs are currently top 10 in the league in errors, and it's spearheaded by two guys, Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson. Nico is currently third in the league with 5, and Dansby is 8th in the league with 4 right now. Do the Cubs have a defense problem?
No.
I would say to you, those numbers are going to level out over the course of the year, and by the end of the season, it's not going to look like this.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. That's like this is baseball, right?
Yes.
They come in bunches, and then I think those guys settle in, and
What's the Cubs record?
they're
18-12.
Yeah, 6
isn't it?
over.
Well, you guys are good. You guys are lucky John Schriffen doesn't broadcast Cubs games the way you guys are hating on him right now. My
Yeah,
God.
no kidding, man. That team.
If
Wow.
Boog hears you guys.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm pretty happy. Like someone tweeted me yesterday asking, "Hey, you guys have to talk more Cubs. How about you guys addressing this?" Because he was like, all you guys do is talk about the Bears. How about bringing up that Happ is batting .216 with 1 home run? Morel is batting .215, and he batted .189 in all of April. Swanson's batting .234 with 33 strikeouts. Bellinger's batting .226 and is hurt. Bush is being benched for wisdom. Nico has 0 home runs and only 1 stolen base. So he's bringing all that up, and it's all true. But yet, like you just said, Meller, with all the injuries, with all those struggles, with all the errors, with all the bullpen issue, they are still 6 over 500. I think all in all, that's a great sign.
I would add as well to that, Cat, that it is May 1st, and the Bears just drafted Caleb Williams first overall, and they're trying to get a new stadium funded. That's why a lot of the focus right now is on the Chicago Bears. There'll be plenty of time for Cubs and White Sox talk as the year rolls on. Relax.
Did you just relax him? Or did you just pull a Roger/Cap?
Yeah, I did. So, I mean,
Are you gonna spell it
honestly,
out? You
why
gotta
is he?
spell it
All
out.
you guys do is talk about the Bears. For the love of Jesus, they just drafted 1st and 9th overall last Thursday. Really, the guy? Somebody's coming at you because all we do is talk Bears. Get out of here. Cubs have played 30 games. Baseball season will be on forever and ever. Relax.
It'll be on forever and ever.
Yeah.
And
This
ever.
thing won't end. It won't end. It doesn't end. The baseball season never ends.
Are you drinking a beer right now?
I am. Yeah.
I
Number one of
knew
the
it.
day.
I could tell when you've got beer voice going.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Beer voice or bear voice?
Beer voice.
What is beer voice?
I could tell. Could you guys tell that he was drinking a beer too?
I mean, I could tell because I have his
could see
camera
it.
up. I could see him.
Oh, see,
going
I
to the
haven't-
bottle.
I haven't watched
I don't know what beer voice is.
Like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
not
either.
party voice yet, but I could tell he's got more relaxed voice going.
I think that's a swinging in my
when you
chair
guys start
voice that he
talking
has.
Cubs rotation in May, May 1st, I kind of sit back and crack a cold one. No doubt.
All right, you're
Guys, what are we going to do? Oh, my goodness. What are we going to do with this rotation? What are we going to do with this bullpen? It's May 1st.
Then he just starts yelling, Rick Russell.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Cubs were 6-25 right now, Waddle? My God.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Crazy.
I'd be lead hater if the Cubs were 6-25. You think I'd be mad at anyone ripping the Cubs if they were 6-25?
You would be leading the charge for ripping the Cubs.
Yes. All right.
No,
3-1.
listen. I mentioned it earlier, and I know. Look, to be 6 games over 500 with all of the injuries that you've dealt with, and with the bullpen issues, like, oh my God, I would think all Cubs fans are thrilled at this point.
Yes.
Schedule you played too.
Yeah, it's a long West Coast trip. All right, let's gamble here, Waddle.
Gamble.
Will Wilbon be optimistic about the stadium and say this is just politics? This is how things get done. It's not going to be easy, but no one's just going to let it go through the legislature scot-free. This is how things get done, guys.
I don't even think he'll go there. I think what he'll say is, I don't want to get involved in all the politics of it. Just get it done. You know it needs to be done on the lakefront. Just get it done. I don't want to get into all of that stuff. That's
I'm going to set him off. Okay, so I know this isn't true. Yes, I'm going to tee him up coming up next, and I'm going to say, my first question will be, Michael, is the Bears stadium deal dead on arrival after today's meeting, and see where he goes.
He's going to slap you like Embiid slapped Brunson last night.
Let's all find out together coming up next.